Kevin, thank you. It is loud as we welcome you back to Red October here in Philadelphia. Just about set for the first pitch between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins. It is sold out. It may be loud in Milwaukee. There's another adjective for what's about to happen in this building. A continuation of last season when they came up 2 games short of winning a World Series. They had so many heroes, one of whom being seen now on the big screen. Rhys Hoskins had that bat-slamming home run. And then, of course, sadly in spring training, suffered a torn ACL. But it's Rhys Hoskins who is back with the Phillies to throw out the first pitch tonight. As if this sellout crowd needed more to cheer about, they bring back one of their favorites. Coming out to catch the ceremonial first pitch is Kyle Schwarber. Tonight in Philadelphia, tomorrow Hoskins goes to Florida. There's a chance if they make it to the World Series, he may be playing. The goal of this team to get back to the World Series. Marlins Phillies starts now.
The time for improving is over. The time for proving has arrived. Because the future hangs by a thread.
It's gone!
The Marlins and the Phillies are ready. 162 games have prepared them for this moment.
The Phillies walk them off!
A moment with no before, only an after. Filled with promise or regret. That moment is here. Now is all they got.
The wild card series underway. A couple of games in the books, one underway, and this one about to start. There is no bigger home field advantage in Major League Baseball than what they enjoy here in Philadelphia. Trey Turner learning for the first time what it means to be in a postseason. They are 22-11 at Citizens Bank Ballpark since it opened. And Jazz Chisholm is feeling the music. This is not a team that's going to be intimidated by any of this. The Marlins won the season series against the Phillies. Welcome, everyone. Buster Olney to join us shortly. Of course, David Cohn, Eduardo Perez, and I'm Carl Ravitch, ready for Game 1. It feels on paper anyway, which this game is in play, the Phillies have a huge advantage. The offenses are very different tonight.
Yeah, they're very different. And when you talk about the Philadelphia Phillies, you talk about the power, right? You have 6 guys in their team that have 20 plus, but it's all about the energy. We saw it last year in the postseason. They have that experience. They're going to feed off it. We saw Rhys Hoskins throw the first pitch. These fans are electric. The players understand it. They know it. They gravitate towards it. And because of it, they are dangerous early. If you're the Miami Marlins, you have to do a couple things, and it's try to quiet them down early, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble with these fans. On the other end, though, with the Miami Marlins, their offense. This is a team that has to be able to play consistent baseball like they have all season long. They addressed the one-run issue that they had last year. This year, they were 33-13. Last year, they only won 37% of those games. You look at the come-from-behind wins, 41. They are relentless, and it's not only against bad teams, it was against good pitching as well. This team believes in themselves, and they have to be able to quiet this fans early.
Yeah, and they do it by putting the ball in play, and nobody does that as well as Luis Arraez. Batting champ last year, batting champ this year. Zach Wheeler's on the mound, Jesus Luzardo. The Marlins are without two of their best starting pitchers for the postseason, but Luzardo is terrific. Wheeler's the guy the Phillies have rested and ready.
Well, he is, and to me, it's an old-school pitcher. It's a guy who pitches off of his fastball. The key is, though, he uses two different kinds of fastballs, that four-seamer and that two-seamer. And it's like he reaches out and hands the ball to the catcher. He has such great extension, great life on his pitches, and does have a good sweeper to go with it as well. And then on the other end, Jesus Luzardo's got a career high coming into this, 178 innings pitched. That's about 78 innings more than he had last year. So certainly he pitched good down the stretch, but also a guy who pitches off of his fastball. His fastball run value this year, plus 14. That's in the top 5% of Major League Baseball.
One of the game plans for the Marlins, throw a lot of lefties at this team that has been carried a lot of the season by lefties, Schwarber and Harper. They're ready, we're ready. Let's get you ready for first pitch after this. Another red October, and Skip Schumacher, the manager of the Marlins, has prepared his players as best as he can to deal with this. Buster is down there with one of the keys to the Miami success.
And that'd be Jazz Chisholm. Jazz, I was watching you during pregame introductions. You're getting booed by the Phillies fans. You had the biggest, happiest grin on your face. What's this experience like for you?
I mean, it's amazing. Booing or cheering, I don't care. I'm just glad to have so much fun and the crowd being as electric as they are.
All right, the chain that you have is a spaceship. What does that signify?
I mean, I just feel like I'm from outer space. Like I can do it all. So that's why I like my spaceship. I feel like I'm an alien. That's what I always tell myself.
Jazz, I love it. Back to you, Carl.
I love it. An alien here at Citizens Bank Ballpark. Jazz Chisholm has got unique skills. And Zach Wheeler will have to deal with him and the rest of a very different Miami Marlin team after the trade deadline. Kim Ng went out there and really bolstered the offense as the Phillies take the field. Miami is going to try to do what Philadelphia did last year. You know, they won 80-plus games and went all the way to the World Series. Miami did the same. Miami, though, comes in with an historic run differential on the negative side. But it changed a little bit, guys, when they went out and acquired Josh Bell and Jake Berger, and both of them have been outstanding since they got here.
They really have, and it all is because they can also drive in the run. They're using the entire field. But before even those two come up, it's Luis Arraez at the top. He has been the igniter the entire season. He's been out with a bad ankle, looked 100% during batting practice. And then you have Brian De La Cruz and Jesus Sanchez. The Marlins fans know about them. The rest of the country's about to find out more about them.
Well, on this end, they're going to have to contend with this guy, and he's battle tested. And really, when you look at those numbers, a guy who can strike you out, but that he doesn't walk a lot. That 5% base on ball rate is elite, and this guy's got some weapons: two-seam, four-seam, and 3 different distinct breaking balls to go to.
33-year-old and ready to be carried by this crowd, which has been electric since the gates opened 2.5 hours ago. It'll be Wheeler against Luis Arraez to start this, the batting champion with a .354 average. First pitch, 98 on the black. Strike one. Just missed. Stu Sherwater is calling balls and strikes. It's 74 degrees, a little after 8 o'clock here in Philadelphia. A perfect night for baseball. Oh, he slaps one to left field, coming hard, making the catch out there in left field is Christian Pache. And there's one down.
Excellent play in left field, and also positioning as well, knowing Luis Arraez can slap it that way and hit it in between the infield and outfield, and Pache right there. Great jump.
Pache playing more because of the left-hander Luzardo on the mound, but certainly an improvement in left field. We'll set the defense after this one to Soler. He swings the first one, and Jorge Soler fouls it off. Alec Bohm's at third. Trey Turner's at short. Stott is at second. Harper is at first base. Pache's in left. Johan Rojas has been outstanding in center field. And Castellanos is in right with Real Muto behind the plate. Soler fouls off another one. He's the designated hitter, had 36 home runs to lead the way for Miami this year. Strikeout one for Wheeler. He caught him looking.
Okay, so if that is working early on, the message that Soler is going to tell the rest of the dugout is, guys, be aware of this pitch. Because that's the one thing you don't want Zach Wheeler, if you're the Miami Marlins, to have already in the first inning. The fastball, pinpoint control, and the slider to break for a strike.
Josh Bell, fastball misses away. Bell has been outstanding on the field and in the clubhouse. The first baseman has as many homers for Miami in about half as many games as he did with the Guardians. And the next one misses down. He had 11 home runs in 53 games with Miami and 11 with Cleveland. He came here, they tweaked something, and he believes they figured it out. He's trying to elevate it more. He watches another one underneath the arms, in for a ball.
Everybody was looking for bats at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Miami found two. And not only found two, but they seem to have unlocked him, as you said, Carl.
3-0 to Bell. Swinging, and that one gloved by Stott. Bouncer, and he gets it to Harper in time. A 10-pitch inning for Zach Wheeler. Two good defensive plays and a punch-out. But Stott worked in that in the offseason. His footwork at second, and it paid off here in the first inning.
Well, the game starts with elite defense in left field, and it ends with elite defense at second. Phillies baseball.
Kevin Connors in studio. The Brewers jumped on Brandon Pfaadt for 1 in the first, 2 in the second, but Arizona answered in the third. Corbin Carroll, second career playoff at bat. He goes 444, a 2-run shot. And then the next batter, Ketel Marte, off Corbin Burns as well. It is a 3-3 game. Bottom 3 over on ESPN2. Revy.
What a neat thing. Hopefully the country gets exposed to Corbin Carroll. Minnesota beat Toronto 3-1. Texas a winner today over Tampa Bay 4-0. Starting lineup for those Philadelphia Phillies. It is Schwarber leading things off. Another season in which he blasts nearly 50 homers. Turner turned things around after a standing ovation in August. And Luzardo's first pitch to Schwarber misses down and away. Jesus Luzardo grew up rooting for the Florida Marlins, now of course the Miami Marlins, and what an opportunity this is for him. 97 to Schwarber. He fouls it off at the plate.
You see those numbers. The strikeout rate tells the story, well above major league average, and the walk rate pretty much under control, below average. So a really nice year overall from Jesus Luzardo.
National League high in strikeouts this season, and Schwarber holds on that one. Unlike Wheeler, who throws almost 5 pitches, you get really 2 with Luzardo, fastball and that nasty slider. Schwarber hits it hard. That's through into right. He doesn't hit many of those. A sub 200 batting average, but there he is with a single to lead it off.
He'll force you to throw the fastball by not chasing out of the zone. How you pitch Schwarber is left on lefty throwing the slider. But if he gets ahead in the count, Luzardo, even with his 97-mile-per-hour fastball, it's not enough for Kyle Schwarber.
Turner swings at that first one. It was a slider, and it's 0-1.
I was told Schwarber doesn't hit singles.
But his manager did say, we asked about the stolen base numbers for Turner. Would they be even higher if Schwarber didn't get on base as often as he did? Hitting singles, he said, well, he doesn't hit many of those. And he didn't this year with his 47 homers. 48 singles, 19 doubles. What he does do is just get on a lot. He walks a ton.
And he slugs a lot.
1-1. Turner out of play. He really struggled in his first year of that $300 million deal early, and then the Philly fans on August 4th gave him a "we need you" kind of standing ovation. He knew how important it was, and it felt like the entire team did as well, because he got a lot better, and so did the team. Through August 3rd, he was hitting .235. He had just 10 homers, striking out a lot. Look what happened after that ovation. Everything points in the right direction. Putting the love in brotherly love, the Philadelphia fans. Alec Boehm last year, Turner this year. 2-2 ripped down the line. Fair ball. Schwarber to third. He's being held there. Double for Turner. And this place is bumping.
4 pitches to Kyle Schwarber. One of them was a slider, was out of the zone. All the pitches to Trey Turner off speed were out of the zone. Even though he got a couple to chase, they're forcing him to throw the number 1, and they're not missing the number 1 when it's in the zone. Both Schwarber and Turner getting the bat head out early, and now both of them in scoring position.
Turner had 35 doubles during the regular season. Here's Alec Boehm. Good job behind the plate, Nick Fortes. They have Jacob Stallings, but Fortes is Luzardo's personal catcher. Terrific at framing, and blocking was required there.
Exceptional block right there on a tough pitch to block.
Boehm hit .274. He drove in 97 during the regular season. And this one to right, and it is going to be caught out there by Sanchez. Schwarber is held at third, and that's a questionable call. Schwarber was coming down the line, and Dusty Wathan held him up.
Talk about being conservative. That's exactly what Dusty Wathan was thinking with Bryce Harper up next. But left on left, Luzardo's 1 strikeout away from at least being 1 batter of getting and ending this little rally here. Now infield is probably going to play halfway. Let's see how the Marlins and Skip Schumacher decide.
First one to Harper. Another one requires a good block. Sanchez, Chisholm, De La Cruz, terrific outfield range for Miami. On the infield, Berger's at third. Birdie is your shortstop. Luis Arraez, Josh Bell at second and first, and Fortes behind the plate.
Fortes putting on a clinic back there. If you're a young catcher, my goodness.
No time violation either way, but Sherwater and Harper had a small conversation as Bryce swings and misses at that slider. In his 5th season with Philadelphia, Bryce Harper's 30 years old. Coming off an incredible second half, recovering from Tommy John surgery quicker than anyone else had. And now down to the count 1-2. Didn't offer. You saw those numbers, 1 for 9 in his career against Luzardo. And given the atmosphere, this is a huge at-bat here in the first inning.
Okay, okay, this is interesting right now because if you're Luzardo and you are going to throw the number 1, 3-2 count, first base is open, it better be elevated. Anything down, Bryce Harper can get to. Either that or you go back to the slider.
They are shaded to left against Harper. Swing and a miss. Great job by Luzardo, who's now an out away from getting out of a second and third no-out situation.
Yeah, the difference on this one is he made it look like a strike for a long time. The others were in the dirt and non-competitive. This one, at the last minute, breaking off the plate. Once again, out of his hand. That's in the zone for a long time until the end.
Now the Phillies know they need Real Muto to contribute here in the postseason. Been a bit of a bumpy season offensively. There were some signs late, 10 hits in his last 9 games, 2 hits in 3 of his last 5. K-Zone would have called that a strike. Instead, it's 1-0. Now 1-1.
How about the respect for the arms of the Marlins? Most often than not, you're looking at over an 80% chance those guys get sent on that fly ball by Adam Bone in right field. Jesus Sanchez and right. A lot of respect.
Tony, how huge would it be for Luzardo to get out of this?
Yeah, I mean, you could see the nerves, all the bounce sliders. Now all of a sudden, he's got a chance.
Went fastball, missed high and away. 3-1 with Nick Castellanos on deck.
You can see the overthrowing. It's normal for a young pitcher in this kind of scenario to be a little juiced up and to overthrow a bit.
3-2.
Good pitch to hit right there. Sometimes at 3-1 count, you think the guy's a little wild. It's hard to turn it loose.
Muto to center field. Chisholm coming, and he's got to make the catch. Ooh. How about Jesus Luzardo? Schwarber a single, Turner a double, second and third, nobody out. He ends up giving up no runs.
Well, that's the kind of stuff this young lefty has.
They won it all in 1980, did the Philadelphia Phillies, and it was the Marlins in 97, of course. They then did it again in 2003. And of course, the Philadelphia Phillies were outstanding in the late 2008s and 9s. They win it in 2008. For the Marlins, their 4th postseason in franchise history. They had gone 12 straight years without a winning record. And they hired Skip Schumacher, and things turned around this year. Wheeler's first pitch to Chisholm after he threw 10 in the first inning, 24 thrown by Luzardo. But the score is 0-0 into the second. That's a good one in there. Sarah Langs, of course, providing us our research information. Said in the first inning, Wheeler threw 2 pitches at 98.6. His fastest in the regular season was 98.5, so adrenaline affecting Wheeler. And this one broken back, fielded by Stott. And he makes the play. Stott with an outstanding play to end the first. It was in January. He went to a wedding in Louisiana. And he realized, you know, Bobby Dickerson's in Mississippi, so he went to visit one of the best infield coaches in all of baseball. And for about 4 days stayed there and worked on his footwork. He and Bobby's son, who's about 3 or 4 years younger, Dickerson said, you know, he was a shortstop who made the move to second. He didn't have to do that, but boy, did that impress him. And Stott was willing to go there and work so hard on making sure his defense was outstanding. And he moved over to second because of that guy at short, Turner. 2 quick groundouts for Wheeler.
Talk about first steps. That's one thing that both guys up the middle have. Really quick first steps. You make up for it. The defense this year has been a lot better, even with Bryce Harper, who's learned the position on the fly at first. He's gotten better as well.
Three straight ground ball outs for Zach Wheeler. That's a nasty pitch, 98 on the inside corner. to Brian De La Cruz, the left fielder. Yeah, the infield defense has improved dramatically. One of the benefits of giving a guy $300 million named Turner, you get Stott or shortstop to move over to second. The guy who's been very impressive too has been Harper at first base.
Yeah, complete reversal of fortunes on the defensive end, at least according to outs above average.
Cruz swings and misses. That outs above average StatCast was powered by Google Cloud. Zach Wheeler trying to get his offense back real quick. You're the only guy that's been in this situation, Cody. How important was that first inning for Luzardo, and how good and comfortable does Wheeler look?
Yeah, Wheeler's been there and done that. You know, he's very comfortable in his own skin in a big game at home. Luzardo, I mean, I don't think you can say enough. We'll see how it translates the rest of the game, but you could see him walking off the mound. What a huge emotional lift for him. The pitch out of that jam. His last pitch, too, was 99 miles an hour from Luzardo.
Right.
Both pitchers pumped up.
2-2. Popped up. Stott puts it away. Another 10-pitch inning. 20 pitches through 2 innings. 6, 7, 8 for Philadelphia. Coming up when we come back.
Okay, guys, so between innings, this is a conversation that Bowman Schwarber were having, right? Why did he not go? And you look back at it, and this is a play from the third base coach angle that he should go on this. He was told to stop, but he's going the other way towards his left to square up and throw a strike to home. Virtually impossible. And then look at Turner. He was tagging up at second. He would have been at third base. It would have sent a message right away to the Miami Marlins. We're for real, and the fans would have just been all in on it.
Luzardo's first pitch to Castellanos here in the bottom of the second. No, and then Castellanos sends one straight back. 272 this year, 37 doubles, 29 homers, and 106 runs batted in for Castellanos, who is now behind 1-2 to Jesus Luzardo, first ever Peruvian-born major leaguer. He grew up in Miami. Moved to Florida when he was only 1 year old. That's down in the dirt. He went to attend Stoneman Douglas High School. Baseball America High School Team of the Year. You see Jesus with his father when he was just 5. Of course, they had the tragic shooting February of 2018, and Luzardo had gone to that school nearly every day to work out. He received some text messages from his coach that morning saying, "Don't show up here." He had a nightmare unfolding, and he then began to communicate with a lot of the people he knew at the school. He's subsequently been involved with so many philanthropic efforts there. This one back up the middle, and Arise positioned beautifully to throw at Castellanos. Kevin Connor's ready with an update in the studio.
All right, Ravi, after Joe Mantiply pitched out of a jam to end the third inning, Gabby Moreno starts the fourth with some fireworks. 425 off Corbin Burns, who's now given up shots to Moreno, Carroll, and Marte. 4-3 D-backs, top 4 ESPN2.
Nice KC. Bryson Stott now back here. How about 444 off the bat of Corbin Carroll? Bryson Stott looked at all the videos of the postseason after the season last year and realized, of course, like, they are picking on me with four-seamers, and man, did he turn that around. There is that nasty slider. Look what he did, Eduardo, to adjust to that four-seam fastball, and how that batting average and slugging percentage went through the roof.
Yeah, big time, and that's one of the reasons why Luzardo has gone slider back-to-back, and when he will do that, throw the fastball, it'll be hard in. Top 3 in Major League Baseball being able to execute the fastball in, especially against left-handed hitters. Justin Steele, #1 and #2. is pitching for the Phillies tonight.
Is that a matter of just looking for it more, starting it early, cheating a little bit, or changing in your mechanics?
It's first he's using the high velo machine, so it's getting used to it. Just think about if you're going 100 miles per hour on the highway, and I'm not saying to do it, don't do it, and all of a sudden your little radar thing says slow down. You're going 65. It seems like you're going 40. So he's just sped up his clock, his eyesight.
Just foul. Good graphic there, given what you just saw. And the third baseman, Berger, way off the line. Birdie shaded way up the middle. Good pitch from Luzardo, bottom of the zone at 97 for his second strikeout.
You know, that plays when you've got a great slider and you've already thrown it in this at-bat, right at the knees, and gets the call. You see that four-seamer at the knees just jumps into the glove. Looks like it's low, but stays right at the bottom of the zone.
Swing and a miss to Pache. He's the left fielder tonight and is not a big threat at the bottom of the order. He and Rojas. Johan has been a revelation both defensively and offensively. But quickly, Pache finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
That's the pitch he did not have in the first inning. The ability to throw the slider for the first pitch for a strike in the zone, and then you go after the chase. Now you can go wherever you want. Cubans say, "Ding marin de los pingües." That means either you pick high or you pick low, but you have to pick one.
He pitches quickly, and he picks up a quick strikeout on Pache, and a very, very good inning for Jesus Luzardo. You can feel he just settled in, and boy, was that first inning huge for him.
A much better rhythm in this inning, and very confident with conviction now.
Well, no day off. Best of 3 wild card rolls on tomorrow. All 4 game 2s. Rangers and Rays get it started 3 Eastern time on ABC and ESPN Deportes. Blue Jays Twins 4:30 Eastern ESPN Deportes. Berrios and Gray go for Toronto and Minnesota. Eovaldi and Eflin, Texas and Tampa Bay. Wheeler throws another strike to get this 3rd inning started. He'll get Jesus Sanchez, John Birdie, and Nick Fortes. Bottom 3 for Miami. What Sanchez has improved on is his ability to go to all fields. Zach Wheeler's got the paintbrush out tonight.
Yeah, he fell in love trying to pull the ball a lot. When he came into the league, he was using the entire field, and Brent Brown did a great job of getting him back to using the entire ballpark.
Turner backhand off his glove, and that's going to allow Sanchez to reach base. First hit for Miami tonight. That's the other way that Sanchez goes.
Turner didn't get a good jump. Watch this right here, because the pitch was inside and it was located that way. He's already internally thinking if he's going to hit it, he's going to pull it or hit it in the air, jam shot over his head. Instead, it went on the ground. That's why he couldn't make the play to his right.
That'll bring up John Birdie. Better offensive shortstop. They got a couple of guys that have gone back and forth at shortstop. Birdie, a little bit better offensive player, and that one is in there for a called strike. Hit almost 300 this year. There is some pop there, and he had 16 doubles with 16 steals. Good speed. A bit of an interesting year for Realmuto. Still outstanding defensively, but some of the numbers analytically will tell you that there's been a bit of a step back. Birdie fouls that off. It's been a rough year to be a catcher with the new rules, etc. Stolen bases are way up. Saw what Acuna did. Carroll certainly for Arizona.
Yeah, he's still one of the most athletic catchers back there.
Yeah.
His pop time down in the 1.8 range. Arm strength 86 mile an hour range. Still well above average.
Got him. Good pitch there. A sweeper from Wheeler. his second strikeout.
Well, he's got 3 different kinds of breaking balls. We've seen a hard slider, he's got a curveball, and this is indeed the sweeper. You can see that that's hanging about outer third of the plate, and then the next thing you know, it's a good 6 to 10 inches off.
The Marlins do hit into a lot of double plays because they are a team that thinks contact first. You know, it goes against sort of current offensive philosophy. Pull it, elevate it. Their contact team, Arise, is obviously the torchbearer, but Schumacher preaches it. So they put a lot of balls in play, and they do hit into double plays.
The value of 2 different kinds of fastballs.
Yes.
Nasty sinker on the inside corner. A little rug burn on the edge. It's just a beautiful combination. Good take right there. Sinker in, sweeper away.
Sanchez just 3 steals, hasn't moved and isn't there, and that one misses just off. Another good take by the catcher, Fortes.
Keeping everything down, trying to get, if he does get contact, the double play and let the defense work for him, especially with the Rise on deck.
With Harper holding Sanchez, plenty of room on that right side of the infield for a ground ball to get through. This one up the middle. Stott steps on the bag, throws to first. There is the double play. You avoid a rise, and the Marlins do what they've done a lot this year. Ground into a DP. Wild card underway. Sanchez and company survive a first inning scare after a Schwarber single and a Turner double. Rhys Hoskins throws out the first pitch and sends Citizens Bank into a frenzy. Things have begun to settle down here. Bottom 3 in the bottom of the order now for the Phillies, in Rojas to lead off, and then back to Schwarber at the top. You got Bell on the grass, and you got Berger in at third. Ball and a strike, and again, no Sandy Alcantara. He's out for the year. Yuri Perez was shut down. Imagine your favorite team going into the postseason minus, you could argue, your 2 best pitchers, and the pressure that Luzardo has assumed as much of a breakout year as he had. They don't have their arguably 2 best pitchers, certainly Alcantara, and this wasn't a Cy Young Award winning year for him.
It wasn't, and I think that's because it's a softer landing than if Sandy would have had the year he had last year, and then all of a sudden he's not available in the postseason.
3-1 to the 9-hitter. Oh, he pulled it foul. 3-2. Getting ahead of 98, Coney.
Yes. Turned on the fan.
Fouled off his foot. A little hesitation by the umpire crew to call that. You saw Luzardo go after it. It's a good thing it was called foul. That thing had all sorts of English on it.
Right off the toe.
Another one pulled down the line, but that's going to go foul. So he's hit the fastball and he's hit the changeup. And Rojas has exceeded expectations. His manager told us before the game, every which way, patrolling center and at the plate.
He's got to elevate that fastball. He's thrown the changeup. He's pulled it. He's thrown the fastball down 97. Top part of the zone gets him, but let's see if he has that control to be able to do that.
Crowd back on its feet, towels waving. And he lines one into left field. What a good at bat from Johan Rojas. He hit the slider, and the number 9 man aboard with nobody out.
In our managers meeting, Rob Thompson said the at-bats that Rojas has had have been unbelievable, really good competitive at-bats. It was his hit that clinched it for the Phillies, and the entire city has embraced Rojas, not only in center field, but also offensively.
The lead speed on first base as well.
First pitch to Schwarber at the knees, called strike 1. Yeah, Rojas had the RBI that clinched another postseason trip for the Phillies. Way outside, in the dirt, and he took right off, and he's at second base.
Great jump. You talk about player development. This is part of the game that has been lost at the professional level, and Rojas right there with a good secondary, reads it in the dirt and doesn't hesitate whatsoever. His weakness is actually bunting. In the last game of the season in New York, staff said all you're going to do is bunt. You're going to bunt for a hit every time and every at-bat. That's what he tried to do.
Schwarber waves at that one. Oof. Wild pitch charge to Luzardo. And Rojas going to clean up a little bit out there at second base after that slide. Five teams since divisional play began trying to go back and win a World Series the year after they were there. The Orioles in 70, the Yankees in 77, the 89 A's did it, the Royals in 15, and the 22 Astros. Good pitch, Schwarber struck out. Luzardo, strikeout number 4.
Classic backward style pitching. Lefty on lefty, he threw a couple of sliders, finished with the heater. Right there at 96.
You know, my dad always told me, don't look for a pitch you can't hit. Can't hit the slider, look for the number 1, because sooner or later they'll come with it.
Back pick in safely.
Trey Turner saw 6 pitches in his last at-bat. 4 of them were off-speed pitches. Good job of trying to keep him close there, because if there is an opportunity to run and to try to steal third, it's with Turner at the plate.
No. 1 ball, 1 strike. You'll notice Luzardo will change his pacing. There will be some quick pitches. Johnny Cueto's on this staff. There's been some influence there. Turner sky high on the infield. Arise makes the play. 2 down. Phillies are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, 0 for 4 with less than 2 outs. They have 2 outs, and here's Bohm. Two guys that have really good numbers against left-handed pitchers are Bohm and Castellanos. Another back pick, and he dives in safely.
I like it. To the righties, Turner and Bohm, what you're going to get is a lot of breaking balls. They want to make sure it doesn't get a good jump at second.
Two hard throwers on the mound tonight here at Citizens Bank Park. 98 from Wheeler and upwards of 97, 98. We've seen 99. That one is fair down the line. Bohm's going to drive in a run. Here comes Rojas. He has heads to second. 1-0 Philadelphia.
This is great hitting. The at-bat starts with a changeup, then he throws that fastball in. And if you study a lot of video against Luzardo, he'll go with the changeup after, and that's what Alec Bohm gambled on, and he guessed right. That's an educated guess, and nothing wrong with that. Keeps it fair. Not only does he drive a run in, but he also trades places with Rojas as Bryce Harper's up. Never cut his swing during that at-bat. Beautifully done.
Harper, big rip at the first one and fouled it straight back.
Boy, Bohm's bat stayed in the strike zone a long time on that changeup.
And where Berger was playing way off the line, had no chance to make the play. Alec Bohm had 31 doubles during the regular season. His first year in the postseason gives him a 1-0 lead. Harper struck out his first time up. Did he held? Yes, he did hold up.
I know Luzardo didn't get this where he wanted to, but you can see he's out in front and fooled, but that's how you stay long through the zone. And even though it's off the end of the bat, still kept it fair.
Harper off the fists. It's caught at third by Berger. But the Phillies strike first here in this game one of the wild card between the Marlins and Phillies. You can certainly make the case Bohm and Stott have been the team's MVP. They're feeling it early. 1-0 Philadelphia.
Back here in Philadelphia, it's Skip Schumacher, the manager of the Marlins. Jesus Luzardo pitches out of trouble in the first inning, then get him for a run in the third. What have you seen in him so far tonight?
I thought initially he was ripping his slider maybe a little bit too hard. And then the second and third inning, I felt like he calmed down a little bit, threw it for more strikes, got out of a big jam the first inning, and has really settled in a little bit more as the game has progressed.
Second time through the order, what adjustment do you want to see your hitters make against Zach Wheeler?
Wheeler's throwing pretty good right now. 97, 99, bottom of the zone with the sinker and a riding fastball. The sweeper's really good. But we got to pick one or the other, and we can't hit all of them, so we got to trust our strength and keep them in the strike zone.
Skip, thanks. Back to you guys.
All right, Buster, thank you very much. Phillies 8-2 when scoring first last postseason. Wheeler threw 3 innings, 32 pitches, fewest through 3 innings in a game this year. Well, first one to the leadoff man, Luis Arraez, misses away. Pache made a terrific play in left field to take a hit away from Arraez in the first. Eduardo, you talk about a guy dedicated to his craft. What Arraez does on a daily basis. I'm not sure I've ever heard of this or seen anyone else at any level do what he does to get ready for every day.
It's pretty impressive.
3 Hopper. Arraez is retired, and he's running a little gimpy down to first. Of course, he had that ankle injury, and he's a little slow coming back.
Yeah, he's still a little slow, but one thing that he does do is when he wakes up out of bed, he goes straight to hitting. That's the bottom line. Don't make your bed. Let's just go to hit. That's what Luis Arraez has been able to do. But running down the line, it hasn't looked good. It didn't look good in his first at-bat. In the second one, he's doing his best to stay in there.
Slider to get ahead of Jorge Soler. That's a big developing story. Arraez, who's missed a handful of games with that ankle issue, came back and looked really good yesterday, but that certainly indicated there's some pain there.
Yes. His haircut's on point, though. That is nice.
Soler was a consistent presence, 36 homers during the season. Good pitch, that sinker right underneath the hands. Realmuto holds onto it, and Zach Wheeler's got strikeout number 3.
The bottom dropped out of that sinker.
It's 95 miles per hour. Coach.
Yes, it's like looks like a splitter. Watch the two-seam grip and just the bottom drop out of it, down and in.
May be the difference between a rested Wheeler this postseason and what we saw last postseason. He was effective. But this is a little different right here from Zach Wheeler, who elevates at 97.
It's what you call easy gas, very much in rhythm, very smooth delivery. He doesn't look like he's efforting to throw the ball 100 miles an hour.
3-0 with a 197 in 5 games started at Citizens Bank since 2020. 1 run or no runs in 4 of the 5 games that Zach Wheeler has started. Bell hits this one. Can Scott get there? No. Off his glove and into right field. That'll be a hit for Josh Bell.
That would have been something. His first at bat, tried going to his right to get a base hit. Wasn't successful this time. Goes to his left and he's able to get that base hit. Salvaging the inning right there. Josh Bell. Wonder if he could have taken a better angle, a deeper angle.
Just under his glove too.
Yeah.
Going to Chisholm.
Jazz right on that. That ball's a couple inches outside.
Chisholm played 97 games this season. Literally went toe to shoulder with a variety of injuries. That's in there for a strike.
I don't like that. I don't understand that at all. You're in the cleanup spot. You have 2 outs. You have the potential to hit the ball out of the ballpark or even into the gap. 19 home runs this season and 352 at-bats. You got to swing the bat, Jazz.
Even very indecisive, even with the bunt. Could not agree more, Eduardo. If I was on the mound pitching, thank you very much for squaring the bunt.
Swinging. Wheeler picks up strikeout number 4. He went with the curveball. And he has thrown only 46 pitches to get through 4 innings.
Second time around the order. Throws a curveball not once but twice, and the second time a charm.
Back here at Philadelphia with Phillies manager Rob Thompson, how would you describe Zach Wheeler's first 4 innings?
Really efficient, really good. I mean, fastball's up to 98. He's getting a lot of soft contact with that 2 seams. Breaking ball's good. He's filling up the zone. Can't say much more than that.
Johan Rojas scores your first run. What's his impact been in the big leagues so far?
It's been huge, you know, not just his defense, but he's had great at-bats, whether it's right-hand pitchers or left-hand pitchers. You see here today, he gets dirt ball, really good dirt ball read, and he scores on a 2-out hit by Bohm. So he can do a lot of different things.
Rob, thanks. Back to you.
Very different year for Rob Thompson, leading this Philadelphia Philly team back and from spring training. And they have had, in fact, since they last out of the World Series last year, guys, they have been thinking about this moment and the beginning of the journey once you're in the postseason to try to get back to the World Series. He's been able to rest his pitchers, going with a 6-man rotation whenever they could. That went inside. Real Muto avoids it. You got to know him, of course, when he was with the New York Yankees. What are some of the characteristics that make him appealing to a player?
You know, he's got a great combination.
Muto will line one into left field and lead off this inning with a single. Third time the leadoff man's been on for Philadelphia.
The thing about Rob Thompson is he's got that rare combination of being extremely organized on top of every detail, but not a micromanager. You know, he sort of has the best of both worlds, as we see Real Muto jump all over this pitch. Drops the barrel right to the baseball.
Inside.
Castellanos watches one down. The body language on Luzardo this inning, a little frustrated with himself. You haven't seen much of that, and behind 2-0.
What the Phillies have done is they've made Luzardo work. 24 pitches in the first inning, 16 in the second, and 23 in the third. So far, no outs in this one.
Right by Castellanos, who last year, remember, in the postseason had a couple of glistening catches, but his hitting was something that he knows he needs to improve on in October. He had a career high in RBI this year, but he struggled in the postseason at the plate. This one a little blooper, and it's gonna fall. Fair ball in right. He's hustling to second. To third goes Real Muto. He dives in safe. That's how you end any type of postseason funk, with a little double blooper down the line and right.
How about the exit velocity? 62.3. Look, you can throw all of that away right now. It's how can you get the job done? And with 2 strikes, he's not afraid to get jammed. Going the other way, sees the hole, and is able not only to get one, but put pressure on Sanchez to throw him out at second.
Sometimes you make a good pitch and a bad result happens. Give Castellanos credit there, though, for fighting that pitch off.
That's the third double for the Phillies tonight.
And the second time the Phillies have runners at second and third to start an inning.
Last postseason, no homers, 18 strikeouts, and hit a .185. But Nick Castellanos is now 1 for 2 with a double. And here's Bryson Stott. He struck out his first time up. Marlins infield is all in. Another really good block by Fortes.
Now, the infield in is an indication, and it's a Wheeler effect right there. I don't believe they can get a lot of runs in this game, especially with the Phillies bullpen. So you play in to try to stay as close as you can. It's a big gamble. It could be 2-0 or 3-0.
Two balls, no strikes. Light hitting Christian Pache is on deck. That's going to bring in Real Muto. Castellanos is coming home. Here's the throw. Chisholm throws him out at the plate. It's 2-0 Philadelphia.
Jazz threw that like a middle infielder, not like an outfielder. What a quick release. Once he got the baseball, it was using his athleticism. He told Buster earlier, I'm an alien. Watch how quick he releases this ball right there. It's not about squaring up. Gets the one hop. Forte gives him the lane. And a perfect throw and tag by the Marlins.
Strike one to Pache.
I think Jazz Chisholm's going to be okay out there in center field. What do you think?
There are 2 impressive athletes that have moved from the infield to the outfield this year. No
Ball
one was,
can't be found. Eduardo, and down to third quickly goes Bryson Stott.
no one was better than Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. in center is proving that he also belongs. But the Phillies tonight have been aggressive on the bases. We saw Rojas take second. He scores. Stott right here forcing the infield in with ball in the dirt.
A.J. Puck, lefty reliever for the Marlins, begins to warm in their bullpen. A big base there for Stott with 1 out to get to third. Infield in, and sails away. Chisholm acknowledged he was a shortstop playing, an infielder playing the outfield when it started. Up the middle and through. RBI for Pache, a big hit for somebody who hasn't had many. 3-0 Phillies.
First fastball Pache sees this game. He saw 3 sliders in his first at-bat for the strikeout. I think everyone was surprised that he got a fastball except Christian Pache. Started him off with a slider, doubled up with it, threw a changeup, and then went right back to the fastball.
And he hammered it right back up the box.
A little bloop double by Castellanos scored a run, and now Pache goes back up the middle. And a crooked number on the board for Philadelphia with Wheeler on the mound. It's 3-0. And it all started with Real Muto's single. Rojas singled his first time up and scored a run after advancing to second on a wild pitch. He then scored on that Bohm double. He has thrown nearly twice as many pitches as Wheeler. Wild swing and a changeup away.
It is sort of amazing when you look around this ballpark, you hear the expression, not a seat in the house left. There's not a seat anywhere. Every seat.
There's a person standing in front of it because they're all standing.
1-2 to Rojas. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, South Florida, Eduardo, where you live, they've had great success with their sports teams, with the hockey team, the Panthers, and of course the Heat getting to the NBA Finals. Here it's an Eagles, and now Phillies take over until Sunday. 2-2. Playable and right for Sanchez.
And don't forget how messy it's been also at the soccer field.
I see what you did there. Did you see what he did there?
Yes.
Leave Luzardo in to face Schwarber.
Three out of the 4 innings, more than 20 pitches. Talk about grinding at bats, making Luzardo work, not chasing out of the zone.
Three times the leadoff man has gotten on, and now twice the leadoff man has scored.
We said earlier on, if this series was going to be decided by the right-handed hitters of the Philadelphia Phillies, can they hit the Marlins lefties? Right now, they've been able to hit Luzardo. They've done the damage.
Change up there, and Schwarber right over the top of it. We're 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, and a 3-0 Philly advantage.
A wicked pitch, lefty on lefty.
Phillies are 36-5 in their postseason history when they lead by 3 or more. Runner off, Schwarber fouls it off.
I like that he sent him right there. Gets thrown out, you get Schwarber with a clean at bat the next inning. what happens when you're up 3. You can play with outs.
Been a good night for Pache. He made that terrific play on a rise in the first, then came up with that big hit in the RBI here. Terrific job by Luzardo just to work around Schwarber, and he shows what he's capable of. The changeup there to get Schwarber, who was struck out for the second time tonight. But the Philadelphia Phillies send 6 to the plate. They plate 2, and they lead game 1, 3-0. It's a G-rated show. Nick Castellanos, the ring finger, it's become a thing with athletes now to hold up or point to the finger they want a ring on. So no harm, no foul, no middle finger by Nick Castellanos. It's the ring finger. And of course, T-Mobile, our best coverage, brought to you by T-Mobile. You can get the best 5G coverage in the game. It's the America's largest and fastest 5G network.
Ball inside.
Wheeler back to the mound now with a 3-0 lead.
Maybe he's just a Beyonce fan, right?
It could be that.
I see what you're doing there.
No Taylor Swift in the house tonight? No?
Good question. I mean, it is Philadelphia.
Kelsey's brother?
Yes.
Nothing?
Reciprocal with the Eagles?
Reciprocal. Jake Berger fouls that back. He grounded out his first time up. Since the deal, Berger leads this Miami Marlin team in OPS, batting average. It's been a breakout season for him. Did he check? Yes, says the first base umpire, Doug Eddings.
Yeah, I thought that was a swing. Those 6 strong wrists right there.
2-2, sky high on the infield. You talked with Kim Ng yesterday. I had a chance to sit with her for a while about why Schumacher. She said we needed somebody who was going to change the culture. He, of course, came from the Cardinal organization. They won there consistently. He, of course, had a huge hit in 2011 in a series right here at Citizens Bank Ballpark. But win every single game they play. And this clubhouse has literally done a 180. And then they bring in guys like Berger, who, when they did some research on him, he didn't come from a winning culture because they didn't win very much, but high character guy. Same with Bell. And those two came in and were very vocal. Bell very vocal. That doesn't often happen in a clubhouse when you're acquired at the deadline and you become the guy that's talking a lot, is it?
Those are great points, Carl. And Kim Ng had a great trade deadline.
Not only do you get Berger, but you get to have him for quite some time as well. Not a free agent anytime soon. Those are the guys you want. Came in with 127 days of service time this year.
They are not here playing in this game without those moves at the trade deadline.
Jake Berger told me today that growing up, his favorite sport was hockey. He played it a lot, and some of his teammates told me that when he takes a foul ball off his foot or something like that, he waves off athletic trainers saying, "Nah, we don't come out. Hockey, we'd never do that."
We don't do that. Fouled at the plate. Spits a tooth out and carries on. Missouri guy is Jake Berger, but again, since that trade deadline, the impact that he and Josh Bell have had. Look, the highest OPS in the second half. Berger and Bell. The other thing that Schumacher does is credit his staff. You always hear in every question about the success of this team, he gives credit to his staff. And he brought a few former Cardinals with him.
Yeah, the Cardinal way. Bring in John Mabry, John Jay, who's the first base coach as well.
2-2 to De La Cruz. Foul ball.
Bring in a Miami kid. And John Jay, who was also a part of that winning culture and has a really good impact on who Jazz Chisholm Jr. has been in center field.
Real Muto and Bohm. Here comes Bohm.
Great things happen when good friends get together. So grab a glass, amigo. Our tequila is your tequila. Our casa is your casa.
Wheeler has given up just 2 hits. There's been no decrease in his velocity nor command. Right at the bottom of the zone to get ahead of Jesus Sanchez. There you go, Coney. You go down, you go up, and now you've opened the door for any possibility.
The last time around, he's really kind of breaking out the curveball down and in to lefties for a swing and miss.
Good call. I didn't land it. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. You look at Wheeler's baseball savant page, and as a pitcher or hitter, you want every color to be red. They're all red. He's got his own personal red wave, and now he's going to get over to first and step on the bag. Red wave, red October. They're trying to take October, and they're going to need Wheeler to be this good. And tonight he has been. 3-zip, bottom 5 coming up. Now the Marlins, Skip Schumacher, have made a pitching change. A.J. Puck, regular season 58 games, traded from Oakland. At spring training, ERA of 3.97. Can walk some and can give up some contact like that shot right off the bat, and a hard hit single for Trey Turner. And another leadoff man aboard for the Phillies. He didn't give AJ much time, did he?
No, did not. And not only that, now with Luzardo, who can hold on runners really well. AJ Buck cannot. It's a different story here.
Chuck and duck.
I almost ducked because I saw you duck.
I flinched up here.
109.2 off his bat. He's not going. They're swinging early as Bohm fouls it off. That was it. So that was a Puck, Chuck, and duck.
Exactly.
Let's leave it there.
Yes.
Like an ESPN documentary. Trey Turner is 30 for 30, and he hasn't been caught stealing 1 time. Gotta go back to 1951, where you've had perfect attempts in a season, which is when they started tracking it. So he dives back. 30 steals, 30 attempts.
The sprint speed right there tells the story. 5th fastest in Major League Baseball. Anytime you get anywhere around 30 feet per second, you're flying.
Not going. Next one, Bohm swings and swung at all 3 of Puck's offerings. Buck was taken by surprise. He went to spring training. He had moved into his apartment there in Arizona for spring training with him, and then 2 or 3 days before spring started, he was traded. He was hoping to be a starter with Oakland and knew he would come to Miami to be in the bullpen. He had 15 saves, and he had been their closer for a lot of the year.
Former Gator.
Former Gator is right.
He's always had a big arm, always been tough on lefties.
Turner is going on the 1-2. Bohm pulls it foul.
You know, when you see somebody like Trey Turner go 30 for 30 in stolen bases, you know that he's holding back because there's more in the tank there, but he's kind of protecting physically too to stay healthy, stay on the field rather than push it to try to get to, say, 40 or 50 stolen bases at the expense of a couple caught stealing.
Not going this time. Somehow got out of the way of that. That was me seeking at 96.
Oh, that would have hurt.
2-2 off speed got him to pop this thing up. Josh Bell is there to make the play. It's an interesting point because you figure once you're in the postseason, maybe you take the reins off a little bit. What are you saving it for? Mookie Betts is another guy who this year didn't steal all those bases that you just feel like he could if he wanted to.
Yes.
And here's Harper coming off an historical 2022 postseason.
A lot of sliders when he faced Luzardo earlier tonight. Trey Turner has to be aware at first base. Anything in the dirt, he's got to go.
.22 extra base hits, memorable home runs, 13 extra base hits. This is all time in Phillies postseason ranks. The 6 and the 13 runs batted in. And an equally remarkable comeback from Tommy John surgery, quicker than anyone imagined. It feels like he's going to be a first baseman for a long time.
Why not? He's taken to it so well. Becoming a Philly legend is what he's become. When you think about the Mount Rushmore of Philadelphia Philly players, start with Mike Schmidt.
Turner goes, and a throw down, 31 for 31 on the season.
Right to your point, Carl. He's off and running.
That was easy. And as much as and as easy as it was to steal second, you got to keep your eye on him because it's easier to steal against lefties when you're at second base to go to third.
And that wasn't close. 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. So it's his first official postseason. It doesn't go on his regular season, but just overall 31 attempts, 31 steals. And this is a relentless crowd. Harper is not about to get thrown out of this game or throw his helmet into the stands. K-zone like that one. Oh, off speed, he got him. Harper, the only Philly without a hit tonight. 0 for 3.
A lot of left-handed sliders. Sweeper is what we call it now.
Well, that's how you're supposed to throw a sweeper right there. It looks like it's in the middle of the plate and then it's off. So obviously more side-to-side movement, and when you throw that kind of pitch, you better get it off, and he did.
Breaking pitch to get ahead of the catcher, Real Muto. Singled and scored last inning.
Love the selection right there. Philly's aggressive early, especially the right-handed hitters. Off AJ, throws him a slider for a strike.
And this one is going to be backed up on by Birdie, and he throws to get the speedy catcher, Real Muto, and that will end the 5th inning. 8-9-1 due up. Marlins going to try to get something going against Wheeler.
The NHL season returns with an opening night triple-header. Hockey is back. How you feeling about your first game? Super excited. Pretty cool to face off against you.
It's an opening night triple header on ESPN and ESPN+.
Opening night Tuesday, Sanheim, Lawton, Neckney. They are Philadelphia Flyers that are in the house and having a blast watching the Philadelphia Phillies. Terrific sports town, one of the great sports towns, Philadelphia. And they are certainly enjoying what they're watching tonight from this guy, Wheeler, who gets the benefit of the call there. It appeared to be down and out of the zone, but it is 0-1. Not sure you script a better start to the postseason for the Phillies than what they've had through 5 innings and what Wheeler has looked like tonight.
He's had count leverage all night long. What you call staying on top of these Marlin hitters. Attack mode.
Birdie, Fortes, and then back to Luis Ariz. Keep an eye on his ankle. Swing and a miss, and that's another strikeout for Wheeler, number 5.
Well, you want to know how he's doing it tonight? I mean, we talk about count leverage. He's 13 for 16 in first pitch strikes. And on 1-1 counts, he's 9 for 9. So you talk about north and south, east and west, and certainly front to back with the curveball. So he can change speeds with the curveball. He can go up the ladder, and he can get over there and field his position.
And there's another first pitch strike to Fortes.
Really 3 distinctive kinds of breaking balls from Wheeler, along with 2 different kinds of fastballs.
The other encouraging sign for Philadelphia has been the last 2 starts for Aaron Nola, because it has not been great, but the last 2 starts, manager said he has kind of clicked it back in. A lot of strikeouts, fewer walks, weaker contact. They tweaked his delivery. You'll see him tomorrow night in game 2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Now, if you're a young pitcher and you're watching Zach Wheeler throw the baseball, he's a great guy to copy, especially in the middle of his delivery. Watch the little gathering. Sort of like a hitter that has a load or a gather before they explode. He's perfectly under control in the middle of his delivery. What that sets up is a sequence of events, a chain of reaction where he really pitches from the ground up and allows his arm to get on top.
3 balls, 2 strikes. What Marlins fans and the Marlins will certainly hold on to is this uncanny ability to win the close games and come from behind. I mean, the Marlins literally have made their way into this postseason by coming from behind in games. That's a swing and a miss. Back-to-back punch-outs, now 6.
Yeah, he's just on right now, and this is going to be the test, and this is what number 1s are about. It's about going through the order, not twice, but a 3rd time, and Luis Ariz is about to start this 3rd time right now. A different look as he takes a step back away from the mound, as he understands what he has to do to navigate through this lineup.
On the ground, Turner, 2-hopper, charges. Ariz isn't moving well. He's gone. And another very good inning for Wheeler. 16 times Miami has trailed after 6 and come back to win. They'll have to make it 17 tonight if they're going to win this one. Not a real umpire, but a prop, because real umps, I don't think, will be doing it, but it certainly had the crowd going as we take clothes off and remind people you can put clothes on. You can go to wear what they are wearing on the field, not what they're taking off. The largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, t-shirts, and more. And root for your favorite team on MLBshop.com. Andy Jacobson, our producer tonight. Any complaints? Andy Jacobson.
You sure that wasn't Joe West?
That was not Joe West, but not the Cowboy. There's our lineup, the Red River Rivalry, Saturday at noon Eastern Time. It's the 119th edition. Monday Night Football, Packers, Raiders, NHL opening night, the triple header. It's capped off by the Blackhawks and the Penguins. Great games coming up on ESPN. Terrific time of year. Wild card on the ESPN ABC networks. As we make our way towards the World Series. Here's Castellanos. Got a new pitcher, George Soriano, for the Miami Marlins. He's been in this organization for a long time. He's appeared in 26 games. Of course, Castellanos, you know, there was that flirtation with going home to Miami when Jeter was there. And then eventually Jeter left. Castellanos got a huge offer to come here to Philadelphia. Saw so many images of he and his son. Saw that during the Williamsport game. Son now back home at school. It's a hard thing to deal with, and Nick certainly has been very forward about that. 1-2 on a play. And like so many here, you know, guys, that ability to play at home like Luzardo is doing, it's rare, it doesn't happen often. But what this town has done with its players and its players to the town, do you know of another team that is so intertwined with its fan base and its city more than Philadelphia?
No, that's a great point. There's a love affair here with the nucleus of this team. You see it represented across the stadium with all the different jerseys, Harper jerseys, Realmuto jerseys, on down the line. The expectations are through the roof this year after last year's postseason run.
Tell you what, when Boston's competitive,
that's close. Yeah, sure.
Very good vibe.
Yeah.
Well, last week Brooks Robinson passed away. Those the Oriole teams that he played on, there was that connection between the city and those Orioles players. It was very similar to what we're seeing in Philadelphia here.
And Harper's in the middle of it. What a good shot that is. Look at the names on the backs of those jerseys. Go back to that shot. I think you saw a Darren Dalton jersey in there.
Roy Halladay.
Benny Dykstra.
Howard.
Rollins.
Got a Brandon Marsh jersey. Got a Brandon Marsh jersey. All represented. And Castellanos is wiped out there by Soriano. Filthy pitch. And the ringleader of all of it is this guy, Bryce Harper. And they have a hype video that was played here. He's got a Trey Turner shirt on. He wore a similar Turner shirt yesterday during workout day. So wherever he shopped, he must have got the 10 for something deal on Turner t-shirts.
You know, I mentioned that the Mount Rushmore of greatest Phillies players of all time. Obviously Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Richie Ashburn, I guess. But you know what? Before it's all said and done, Bryce Harper might be on that Mount Rushmore.
And the 08 teams and 09 teams, the Rollins and Howards of the world.
Utley.
Halladay was just a huge presence here. Chase Utley.
Chase Utley's in that conversation. Yeah, Jimmy Rollins.
Darren Dutch. Dalton.
Robin Roberts.
That 93 team certainly was a team that the city fell in love with.
Dick Allen. Man's man.
3 balls, no strikes to Stott. 3-0 game, bottom 6, and that is a strike.
From the dugout you would hear right now. Doesn't have to be. It's usually the 3-0 pitch that is called sometimes a couple inches away or in, down or up. It's a good changeup he has.
Got some real action on it. Downward tilt to it.
Just tells you how much respect Bryson Stott has been able to garner from hitting the fastball this year.
Center field, Chisholm. Two down. Now with the righty on the mound, Pache is going to be pinch hit for, and this is another guy, Brandon Marsh, who this crowd loves. We take a look at tonight's active play of the game. It's brought to you by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Now, Pache made a terrific defensive play in left field, then came up with a single and the RBI. Did his job, and now you get the wheels in motion with the bullpen bringing a righty in and Marsh coming up.
And it's easy to take a seat when you already know the game plan coming in.
Yep.
There's a righty, this is what's going to happen. And if they bring in another lefty later, we'll also see a move from Marsh, but the defense continues to be elite in the outfield.
You can see right in the middle there is Mel Stoudemire Jr., the pitching coach, holding court. And he's a good one. His father was a really good one as well.
Great one. Long one, too.
He's done a great job with this Miami Marlins pitching staff over the last several years.
Stephen Okert is warming up in that pin as Marsh steps in, batting for Pache. Rhys Hoskins threw out the first pitch tonight. He's going to go to Florida. There is the chance if the Phillies make it all the way to the World Series, he'll recover from ACL surgery and get a chance to kind of do what Schwarber did, like make a remarkable comeback and an appearance.
During early batting practice, it was Rhys that was out there actually putting on a show to both left and right.
0-1 to Marsh. Swings at it, sends it sky high to Berger towards third. Drifting back into fair territory, he makes the play. Bullpen does its work. Wheeler back to the bump. We head to the 7th. It has certainly been wheels up. Zach Wheeler, one above the minimum, has been outstanding. And if he continues to do this and doesn't allow a run, it would be his third scoreless postseason start of at least 6 innings, which would tie him with Cole Hamels for most in Philly franchise history. His first pitch, two-seamer in underneath Soler. It'll be Soler, Bell, and Chisholm here in the 7th. 74 pitches for Zach Wheeler. Nola and Braxton Garrett tomorrow night. Falls behind a rare 2-0 count. Soler had an oblique strain early in September. It forced him onto the IL. Two balls and a strike. Oscar Brazoban warming now for Miami as they're starting to parade through their bullpen. Buck, Soriano followed Luzardo. You've had many nights like this. What does it feel like to be in Zach Wheeler's body?
I don't know if I've ever had a 97-mile-an-hour heater to work with like that, but I sure would have liked it.
Punch out number 7 for Wheeler.
Count started 2-0, right?
Yeah, right back in the count, and this sweeper has been devastating all night long. Just the right amount of side to side and just a little bit of plane change on the downward tilt.
Not recognizing the pitch. You see from that angle right there, the hips flying open.
You can see the speed change right there at 92. That's more of the slider cutter hybrid, more of a slider for him. The sweeper down in the mid to low 80s and the curveball down in closer to 80 miles an hour. So he's got almost a 17-mile-an-hour differential between all of his pitches. So what that allows him to do is have an east to west strategy because of the sweeper and the sinker, and a north to south strategy because of the four-seamer and the curveball.
1-1 on the way to Bell. Boy, he got just jammed.
Hi, Papa. I mean, okay, so now he's looking up and in, right? This is where he could go with the curveball because he elevated the fastball.
Get off of me.
He has struck out 3 of his last 4.
This is pitching at its best.
Just right on track, Eduardo. I mean, just the sequencing is a cut above.
2-2 set up outside. That's where the pitch goes, just a little too far.
That's one pitch that Bell had not seen, and that's the backdoor slider. Threw it in, right? Just out of the blue right there, and he did a nice job of fouling it off.
Got that one in my hip pocket. Wow.
Bell hooks this one into the corner. Castellanos goes over. He will now pick it up and fire to second. Bell is in there with a double. He turned around a four-seam fastball, and Bell in a scoring position with one down.
Great at bat. Now you look at the sequencing of everything that Wheeler tried to do, and yet he did not miss this fastball. Laid off the tough pitches, didn't chase out of the zone, worked it back to a 3-2 count, and turned on it.
Good spot from Chisholm now up. Swings hard at the first one. For the first time tonight, the Marlins have a man in scoring position.
Jazz is looking away. Remember, earlier in the game, that's where he's been pitching him. Hard away, hard away.
Inside.
He's good.
It's a great read right there. Realmuto deserves a lot of credit behind the plate. First pitch, he goes out off the plate and makes a really good swing. The counter right back in off the plate.
He went on the swing. It's now 1-2 strikes to Chisholm. That'll get the crowd reinvested and on their feet. Chisholm had a two-game series in which he went back-to-back grand slams. 16th and 17th of September against Atlanta. What does Wheeler do? 1-2. With a breaking pitch, but it stayed outside.
Back-to-back with the breaking ball.
Yes, you can see Realmuto deking back there, putting his glove up high like he's looking for a high fastball. And they go with the curveball down.
31% strikeout rate for Jazz Chisholm Jr. this year. Wheeler looking for it. No team has been better than the Marlins when they're down 3 going into the 7th inning in Major League Baseball.
The Guardians were right there with him. Most difficult time through the order, Coney.
You know, these guys are really good at reading bats, reading body language. Realmuto back there and Wheeler following the lead. Late there on the high fastball.
Called at 96 at the knees. Chisholm gone. Strikeout number 8 for Wheeler.
Well, the thing about this pitch, as you see on our K-zone, that it does shave the bottom of the zone. But it's a four-seamer. And sometimes those four-seamers just jump into the glove. You think they're low. You talk about north and south. That one right into the glove at the knees.
See where Realmuto presented that pitch as well. Went out there and caught it out front and ends up stealing that pitch as well, making it easier for the call.
92nd pitch for Wheeler. Jake Berger pulled that left foot out, that front foot. 0-1. Bullpen starting to get active for the Phillies. 0-2. That's Alvarado warming The crowd, 45,662 on their feet, trying to help Wheeler get through the seventh.
You look at Wheeler work against right-handed batters as opposed to left-handed batters. The righties are east to west. Sinkers in, sweepers away. The lefties, four-seamers up, curveballs down.
To second, first base is unoccupied. Is Wheeler going to beat him? No. Berger gets there. That was one of those plays where Harper thought he had a chance to get it. It left first base open. Men on the corners, and the tying run will come to the plate for Miami.
Yeah, but that's one that Zach Wheeler has to know where Harper is, and he hesitated in getting there. Harper goes after this ball. Still, I was actually pointing at Coney earlier. Why is Harper playing so in? Berger's not going to show bunt. He's not going to bunt. He's out there to swing the bat. If he was a couple steps deeper, it's an easy one-hopper for him. Instead, it gets by him. Zach Wheeler knows that this one is on him.
He got caught spectating.
So Brian De La Cruz, with 19 home runs on the season, comes up to face Wheeler with 2 down in the 7th inning. It's a Marlins team that hit 166 homers, which was 22nd in the majors, but they were second in the National League in hits.
This inning, it's been about the 2-strike hits. The at-bat that Josh Bell had, working it all the way to 3-2. Then right there, Jake Berger protecting anything close, gets jammed, and is able to get himself an infield hit.
De La Cruz has become an everyday player over the course of this season. Schumacher has shown a tremendous amount of faith in him. What a spot for him here in the 7th with 2 down. Swings big at the first one and fouls it back, and read his lips.
I can see his tonsils from here. He knows that's a pitch he wants back, and good luck if Zach Wheeler's going to give it to you again. Ay, papá. Y todo lo otro que dijo ahí, and everything else that he said there.
Now, is Wheeler tiring here? Are you sensing anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know if he's tiring, although that last two-seamer he missed away instead of getting it in. He's been missing in or throwing it in all night long to righties.
1-1 to De La Cruz. No. Did he go? No. 2 balls and a strike. And 45,000 get on Doug Eddings. Longest inning as far as number of pitches for Wheeler. Swing and a miss. Went with a little sweeper. Doesn't sweep like a lot of guys, but it's a sweeper. And again, another strike away.
If I'm Rob Thompson, I actually asked Bryce Harper to play behind Berger. Berger, already 2 times he's had Achilles surgery. Not a fast runner. He's not the time run, but I have to be able to protect a little bit of the right side of the infield.
Marlins hitters have used their timeouts a lot this inning to disrupt the timing of Wheeler. On the ground, Bohm has it from his knees. Safe. What an effort by Bohm, but great hustle by De La Cruz. The Marlins are on the board. It's 3-1.
Back-to-back infield hits. The Marlins grinding out at-bats once again. 3rd time this inning. You have 2 strikes. They're able to put the ball in play. Wheeler has not been able to put him away with the strikeout. That's what happens 3rd time around the order.
What an effort by De La Cruz, and what an effort for Wheeler, who's going to be taken out of the game. Bohm couldn't get it out of his glove in time to get him, and Wheeler's night is over. Listen to the ovation. 100 pitches. Alvarado comes in. The Marlins doing what the Marlins do. Try to come back late. Take a look at tonight's game track. It's brought to you by Volvo. 6 2/3 and was unable to, with 2 strikes, get the last couple of batters he faced. Infield hits for Berger and De La Cruz. So Alvarado now in, the lefty, to face a postseason stud, Yuli Gurriel, off the bench for the Marlins. Alvarado pours one in at 99. Gurriel, 85 career postseason games, hit .347 in 12 playoff games last year with 2 homers and 4 RBI. Filthy pitch there, a cutter from Alvarado. 2 pitches, 2 strikes.
It's been the theme this inning. 2 strikes for the Marlins.
That one gets away from Realmuto, and both Berger and De La Cruz move up 90 feet.
That's huge right there. Tying run now in scoring position, and Yuli, who came up with a big hit in the suspended game in New York, trying to do the same right here.
Last 4 outings for Alvarado, 13 batters, only 1 had reached base. The 1-2. Got him swinging. Realmuto pumps his fist, and so does Alvarado. And the Marlins will strand 2. They get 1. Wheeler in line for the victory. Alvarado outstanding in getting Yuli Gurriel.
That was absolutely dirty from Alvarado at 94-mile-an-hour. Cutter that just disappears.
Some of the images, and this one, the most fresh. Alvarado. What'd you call it? Nasty? Dirty?
Dirty.
Dirty. Got Yuli Gurriel, who was pinch hitting with the tying runs on base and in scoring position. His reaction, contrast that with Wheeler, who was just kind of clapping his hands, but he went over to make sure to celebrate what Alvarado just accomplished. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Wheeler didn't walk anybody. He threw 100 pitches, 67 were for strikes, and he struck out 8. Birdies moved to left field. Joey Wendell is now at shortstop, and De La Cruz is in right field. And we will roll on tomorrow with our best of 3 wild card series. Rangers trying to end it against the Rays. Twins and Blue Jays. Feels like it might go 3. We'll see. D-backs currently leading the Brewers. And of course, our game 8 o'clock Eastern time. So 3 on ABC, 4:30 Eastern time, ESPN, 7 Eastern, ESPN2. And right back here at 8 o'clock in Philadelphia for game 2 of this series. And we'll get you the schedule for Thursday in game 3s when we find out if any of them are going to be necessary. So Oscar Brazoban now in. Johan Rojas will lead things off for the Phillies in the bottom of the 7th.
He's made an impact on this game early with that single and his base running that Eduardo pointed out. A great read. The ball in the dirt to get to second base.
That looked like a swing, and it is called that. Not according to the 45,000 here.
Love the fans. And that guy right there.
The best.
Thing.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, that guy. That's a little too far.
Yep, yes, another one. Brazoban, filthy there. He picks up the strikeout.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
They're noise canceling. You're being too loud. Good choice. My lucky number.
Plus, earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. What's in your wallet?
Schwarber next up. Hit top of the zone. That's called a strike. It's been a frustrating zone for Schwarber. Seen balls called down and now up. Look at the movement on that pitch. Well, Schwarber, again, if you just go with batting average, it's not going to work for you. But when you go with production, which is what it's all about, 40, 100, 100, 100. Schmidt, Tomey, Howard. Single season Philly history. RBIs, runs, walks, and 40 homers. It is incredible how consistent Kyle Schwarber is. Regardless of where he is at any point during the season, you just say at the end of September, wait, he'll get you near 50, he'll get you 100, he'll be on base all the time. That's a fair ball, and Bell says I got it myself. 2 down.
And along the way, Carl, he'll be a glue guy in your clubhouse, known as one of the best teammates in baseball.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue, not Elmer's. I mean, that's Gorilla Glue guy.
Big time. Everybody gravitates towards him.
Good night for Turner with a single and a double. His pen is quiet, so it looks like Alvarado, who faced one, is going to come back out for the 8th. That misses away.
Whoever that radio producer was that came up with that idea to cheer this guy when he was struggling, he gets a ring or something.
Ring. And it's acknowledged by everybody in the organization. Wow. That getting Turner back involved, and now he in sure water. Get into it. That one was low according to K-Zone. But everyone acknowledges that Jack Fritz, apparently it was his idea, was brilliant in doing so. You could actually, during that at bat, which the fans stood and cheered for him, you can kind of see Turner's head bobbing a little bit, like, all right, okay, I can get behind this.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The numbers after that standing ovation, and the team took off too. It wasn't just Turner, but they all knew we need that guy to perform. They'll check. Turner will walk. He'll go to first base, and that is a base stealing threat.
And if he's going to go, it has to be early. Alec Bohm, who has had some really good at-bats this evening, had that fly ball to right field that should have been a sac fly. Instead, wasn't able to drive in a run as Schwarber stayed at first, but after that, it's been a double. A big one at that.
Ball inside.
This is an uncomfortable at-bat. Brazoban, everything moves. You see a lot of check swings. A lot of guys not being able to dig in. It's a changeup. Stayed up, and he was able to just keep the bat in the zone long enough. Drag it through the zone. Really impressive at bat after a fastball hard in.
Brazoban has appeared in 6 games against the Phillies with an ERA north of 8. But when he's right, he's got strikeout stuff. And he's got 2 down. We saw that 95 with some movement.
Missed some time with growing injury, but ramped it up in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Turner goes, and he's 2 for 2 with stolen bases in the postseason. 30 for 30 during the regular season, 2 for 2.
No chance at all. No reason to even throw. Tremendous jump.
So, Carl, are you calling this a sequel?
This is how many can he get to? Got him there. Home retired. That will end that inning. Turner stranded at second. We'll see if Alvarado comes out. We head to the 8th inning. It's a 2-run game.
Craving ballpark food? Just tell Siri, add peanuts to my grocery list.
We're back with Alvarado still on the bump. All sorts of adrenaline when he came off the mound his last time. And here's a first pitch fastball to John Birdie. Birdie now the left fielder after starting at shortstop. Only once this season, April 12th against this team, the Miami Marlins, did Alvarado face more than 3 or pitch in 2 innings. Soto is in the background. Hoffman is in the foreground. Birdie's 0 for 5 in his career against Alvarado.
The Marlins know one thing. This is their inning. It's been their inning the entire year. 95 runs they have scored in the 8th inning, more than any other inning during the regular season.
Kind of feels like the Phillies have left some out there tonight, too. It should be probably more than 3 runs. Thrown out at home plate once.
You ever feel that way, Coney, after a big out like he got in the 7th and all that energy, and then you bring him back out? Is there a chance to have it deflate?
That's a great point. Sometimes that can work that way. You just get that feeling on the Philly side. You're just kind of letting them hang around a little bit here. And see, that's why Rob Thompson's got double barrel going in the bullpen. Not going to let this thing get away.
Marlins don't believe the game is ever over, especially with just a 2-run deficit. That one was close. Called the ball up. Again, 16 times they were trailing after the 6 innings and came back to win.
Yeah, Sherwater has struggled on both sides.
3-2. Called strike 3. Birdie can't believe it.
Didn't struggle there. That hit the spot.
A lot of pitches on the edges tonight. All over the edges, just barely scraping the strike zone. Here's another one.
Watch Real Muto right here. Extend it. And then present it. You know where he learned that? With the Marlins.
Here comes Garrett Hampson, who will hit for Fortes, the catcher. To start Hampson, who's got 12 doubles on the season, 3 home runs. Luis Ariz next up. Alvarado, you remember last year in the postseason too, went 1 2/3 in the division series game 4.
Here comes the Rocky music.
Here comes the towels. What Rob Thompson told us too pregame, there is no closer per se on the Phillies. Kimbrel, of course, has been that guy, but he's a lanes. Depending on the lanes, righties, lefties, that's the matchup he'll go with. Turner, backhand, fires, got him.
You really got to trust your hands here to stay with the backhand and not get in front of it, and he does. That allows him to get something on the throw.
Left on left now for Alvarado and Arise. If he can get on, Soler would be the tying run. Starts him off at 99. And a rare 0 for Knight so far for the batting champ. Back-to-back years. 0 for 3. And it will not be 0 for 4. Arise delivers as he goes the other way and has just now made it to first base.
So good. Allows the ball to get deep. Just punches this ball over Trey Turner. He can't run much over there at first base. That'll be all for Alvarado, but left on left, it does not matter with that man right there.
99 miles an hour on the inside corner. Shoots it the other way.
Alvarado comes out. You leave Arise and his ankle on first base. Do you pinch run for him?
It's not an important run right now.
He'll stay in. Bullpen active. Soler and his 36 homers coming up. Play Ball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Phillies have had a couple of interesting stories in their bullpen. Orion Kirkering has been one of them, and this is another one. Jeff Hoffman, whose meteoric rise has led him to this spot, and a trusted Philadelphia Philly reliever against Soler with 2 down. And he swings at the first one and pops it up towards the first base side. Not a play.
And not only that, he doesn't really have to worry about Arise at first base because we've already seen that he cannot run well. Now, going into break, you had asked me the question, should he or should he not pinch run? He actually should. 3-1 game, ball in the gap, Arise is not going to score. Plus, Tony, you had mentioned in the break, he has a chance of re-injuring or aggravating it even more.
Soler's not thinking about gaps. He's thinking about over the wall. And that's a good pitch. 97 in on his fists. He's ahead 0-2. Hoffman had a contract offer to go play in Japan. That's when his agent called the Phillies and said, what are you thinking about doing here? He had his papers in his hand. He was ready to go. Oh-2. Soler, left field, end of the bat. And foul. He has had some very big postseason hits. He was the World Series MVP for Atlanta in 2021. He has been their most consistent home run hitter this season, 36.
Just missed that last pitch, too.
Sure
Slider, middle away, just a little out in front.
What a moment for Hoffman. Soler. On the ground, Turner will go to second, and that is where Arise with that gimpy ankle is thrown out by a lot. They trust Hoffman. He got the job done. Bottom 8 coming up. It's Philadelphia 3, Miami 1 in game 1 of the wild card.
2 outs, top 9 in Milwaukee. D-backs up 4-3, looking for more, and Christian Walker finds it. Not quite enough, but it's enough. Off Devin Williams, Corbin Carroll, and Tommy Pham score. 5 relievers have combined for 5 1/3 scoreless innings. Ravi at 6-3 Arizona.
Wow, he has been so good for Arizona, and you just wonder, man, that injury to Woodruff, did it really hurt the Brewers' morale going into that? They were a sleeper pick if they were healthy.
Yes.
Not having Brandon Woodruff available. And now what looks like a 1-0 deficit to Arizona. Tough. Harper up, Harper on. Okert came in to pitch, and Bryce Harper The last Philadelphia Philly who needed to get a hit now has a hit tonight, so they all have at least a hit. Steven Oker in and Jacob Stallings behind the plate. The leadoff man has been aboard a lot for Philadelphia tonight.
Not all sliders are built equal, right? And this one just stays out over the plate, and so many he has seen tonight. That one he's able to dump it in for a knock.
Now Real Muto. And that's down ball one. A lot of folks wondering, all right, so if the Phillies get in a situation, who's going to be their guy to close, at least tonight? Assuming the score stays close, it's Kimbrel who's up with his 7 postseason saves and 417 regular season saves. Strike at the bottom of the zone for Oker. Oker came to Miami, signed as a free agent February of 21. He struck out a career high 73 this season.
18% ground ball rate for Oker.
Both teams have good bullpens in this series.
Really good. Yes, they do. And the Marlins loaded up with left-handers. They'll start a left-hander tomorrow. Real Muto, left center. Chisholm went over there and made the easy play. Castellanos now with 1 down. Sends that into the seats on the first base side. Hooks that one. It's going to get down and go to the wall. Harper, he's being held. He runs through that sign, and he's safe. And Castellanos into third. Boy, Wathan put his hands up, and Harper said, yellow light, I'm going through it, and he scores the 4th run for Philadelphia.
Okay, so the ball and the play is right in front of Bryce Harper. He knows exactly what he is seeing and what he is doing. Yes, Wathan put the hands up, but at this point right here, that play's in front of him. He's being his own base running coach. If there's a time to run through a sign and you feel that you can make it, that's the time right there, especially when you're up 2. Now you're up 3.
Huge run, big hit for Castellanos. He's had a good night now with a couple of RBI.
He's not stopping me.
Defiant.
The great base runners don't lean so much on the base running on the coaches. They understand where the defense is, and especially when that plays in front of you.
That's why they love him in Philly right here. That stuff right there.
Right there. He already knows where it is. He's got his head up. He sees him, but he already had made up his mind before he's tagged third base. No chance.
Out of the way or you're going to get run over.
Schwarber now shoulder to shoulder, by the way, after Schwarber was held in the first. Stott's gone as Oker gets him to chase.
At the out. Hey guys, at the outset of that replay, you see the helmet bouncing behind Bryce Harper. It's because he knocked it off.
That's it's an extra couple of ounces on his head, man. I can run a little quicker without that.
It's amazing because he made that decision around shortstop. Right when he knocked that helmet off, he's like, it's go time.
Aerodynamic.
Well, it's a huge run. You know, you turn a 2-run game into a 3-run game. Two doubles, 2 RBIs for Castellanos, who advanced to third on the throw. And several of those 2022 postseason offensive demons being wiped away for Castellanos tonight.
Ball inside.
Marsh watches another one on the inside, called for a ball. 3 balls, no strikes. Think about it, from Rojas to Pache to what Castellanos has done, Wheeler's efforts, the bullpen. This has been a team effort tonight for Philadelphia. And Marsh sky high to Chisholm out there in center. And he looks at his left fielder Birdie, who says this is a lot easier for me. Bryce Harper picks up his first hit of the night, ends up scoring on a Castellanos double. Kimbrel set to come in, and the energy will be running real high as we head to the 9th inning.
Coming up on SportsCenter, playoff baseball, what a day. The Twins begin their postseason with a monumental win. Orioles skipper Brandon Hyde stops by to talk about his team's amazing season and looking ahead to the Cowboys and Niners, what Jerry Jones had to say before that Giants Sunday night game. Carl, Eduardo, back to you. That madhouse in Philadelphia. What a scene.
Yeah, it is wonderful. Thank you, Scott. And it's only going to get louder here as Kimbrel tries to get the last 3 outs and give Philadelphia a 1-0 lead in this wild card series. It's gone final. Arizona a winner over Milwaukee 6-3. SVP will have all the baseball, football, and you'll hear from Brandon Hyde. Here are the numbers on Kimbrel. And he's ahead of Josh Bell, 0-1. This thing to right. Castellanos runs out of room off the wall. Bell digging, and here's the throw, and he is safe. Castellanos played it beautifully. Didn't look like he got everything he wanted on that throw, and Bell back-to-back doubles.
Talk about just about the top. It has to go over that blue sign of IBX.com, and it's uncanny just the way he's able to bring his hands in and find barrel.
It's a rocket. Over 105 miles an hour off his bat. And off the top of the wall and in under the tag.
So nobody out. Kimbrel, first pitch here to Chisholm. That one misses.
Jazz loves the moments. Loves velocity as well. You cannot miss middle with him.
How big's that Harper run look now?
Ball. 2 balls, no strikes. If there was a question about the Phillies, it was probably number 1. How do they finish games? Who finishes games for them? 2 balls, no strikes. And Chisholm swings at one and pops it up on the infield. 1 out. (41-3) when they are up by 2 or more in the 8th inning, and that was a huge out for Kimbrel on Chisholm.
Yeah.
Behind 2-0.
Fastball right there.
Berger singled. Remember the infield singles that haunted the Phillies a couple of innings ago by both Berger and De La Cruz. Swing and a miss, and that had some oomph on it, 97.
Power against power.
A breakout season, 34 combined homers. Did not miss by much. Missed location, but it didn't miss the K-zone by much at all. In fact, K-zone said, no, that was a strike.
Yeah, all the movement behind there. Realmuto looking for it in, had to reach all the way over.
On the ground, Bohm gets the high hop. And Berger is out. 1 out away. Philadelphia from taking game 1. It'll be Brian De La Cruz.
That's sort of the bugaboo for Kimbrel, is he automatically drops the ball to try to bark. He's trying to bark him to third because he doesn't want Josh Bell at second base. It bothers him, whether it's signal calling for whatever reason. There we go again. Let me drop the ball and balk.
I got you. Okay, I got it. Now we got a balk.
Finally got him to do it. He tried to balk twice. Looked like a quarterback spiking the ball, trying to stop the clock.
Was it Cueto in Pittsburgh years ago? Now wild card game where he dropped the ball. Was that Cueto?
That was. Started chanting Johnny there, but this is on purpose. Just throw it down. Here we go.
I'm trying to block.
Ahead 0-1. Is that literally a comfort thing? Why didn't he want him there? So what do you think?
Yeah, it's a comfort thing for him. Maybe he doesn't want. He thinks maybe they're giving away location. Yeah, it's not because the pitch comes there, but you can see Realmuto does give signs though.
0-1.
Ball.
It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. You said that there wasn't an empty seat. There still is no empty seats.
What an environment. Got to keep your eye on the hitter.
Got to allow the hitter to acknowledge you before you come to the set position.
Wendell is the on-deck hitter with a 2-2 count to De La Cruz. It's off, and we are full.
Looks like Realmuto is trying to use the pitch com, but if Kimbrel doesn't want it, then he goes to the old school finger calling. That's why he wanted Josh Bell on third base.
2 in the hole. Bohm is over there. He will flip to first, and the Phillies will win game 1, 4-1. Kimbrel picks up the save. Wheeler picks up the win. They all picked up at least a hit. 11 in the game for Philadelphia, and they get off to a great start. It all starts again tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern time on ABC.
Well, Wheeler's pitching and Harper's base running really were the exciting points of the night.
Bottom half of the order also coming up big. The rookies, Rojas, setting the tone and finally getting his feet wet and being an impact on the bases.
For Eduardo, Buster, Cody, our entire production crew, I'm Carl Ravitch. We'll see you again tomorrow night at 8 here in Philadelphia. Phillies take game 1, SVP with the day in sports.